Welcome back to Dramatical Murder. The next morning, I carried Granny to the neighborhood hospital. I made sure to ask Mr. Haga for the day off just in case. We called it a hospital, but this was the old residential district. It's an old, cramped facility, understaffed and overcrowded. The building is falling apart, and not even the kindest of descriptions would include the word sanitary. Still, everyone there is kind. Whoops. They know Granny for a long time. They told us to come right over when I called. Granny hates going to the hospital. Always insists she can take care of herself, but today she behaves and lets them examine her. Maybe she's in more pain than she lets on? They tell us she's alright to recover at home, so I carry her back to after the examination is over. When I put Granny to bed and sit down to take a break, she yells at me to get to work already. I want to stay and look after her, but she's not having any of it. I call Mr. Haga, who tells me I can come in now and leave early, so I give up and head to work. I'm standing behind my desk worrying about Granny when the message arrives. It's from Kujaku. Man, I just woke up.
Mizuki?
If Kujaku felt the need to message me about it, Mizuki must really have been acting strange. Maybe Mizuki's been pushing himself too hard? I head to the bathroom to call Mizuki.
Moshi, Mizuki?
At the sound of his voice, I feel a wash of relief.
いや、特に用ってわけじゃないんだけど、なんか。
なんだよ。昨日もあったってのに変なやつだな。
いや、元気かなって思って。
もちろん。なんでだ？
昨日会った時、ちょっと元気ねえなって思ったから、ちょっとだけだけど。
心配して電話してきてくれたのか。ありがとな。でも大丈夫だ。
本当に？
ああ。
そっか。じゃあ、また今度ゆっくり話そうぜ。
だな。そんじゃまた。
I head back to the counter with a sigh. Mizuki's voice didn't have its usual energy. He said he was fine, but I thought it better not to push the subject, but... First, Granny collapses, now I have this to worry about. Though I hope my concerns are unfounded, they stay with me through the rest of the afternoon. I barely get any work done. Arriving home from work, I pull out my key with apprehension. I hope Granny has behaved herself. But just as I put the key in the door...
あれ?
Don't tell me.
開いた.
The door isn't locked? Did I forget to lock it again?
やばすぎるだろ。中にばあちゃんいるのに。何かあったらどうすんだよ。
We live in a pretty tight-knit community. Tight-knit community, not night. But the town being what it is, burglaries are not at all uncommon. I listen carefully as I enter the house, feeling sick to my stomach. How could I be so careless? No sign of an intruder. I take off my shoes and head straight for Granny's room. I quietly open the door and peer inside. Granny is there, asleep under her comforter. Looks like she's fine. I heave a sigh of relief and close the door. I pause on the stairs. Something feels off. Granny is sleeping, so the house is quiet. Nothing is out of place. Maybe it was just my imagination? While pondering this, I climbed the stairs and opened the door to my room. At which point I immediately realized that it wasn't my imagination at all.
じゃこりゃ
I'm not exactly proud of it, but my room has never been what you'd call clean. I had books and magazines piled up on the floor, plus all sorts of other stuff I left out because that was less annoying than cleaning it up. But I don't remember it being quite this bad. My room is completely a disaster. It looks like a tornado ripped through it. There isn't even anywhere to stand. All the shelves have been pulled out and the table's upside down. But that isn't even the most unsettling thing amid the mess. A man is sitting in front of my computer, his back to me like it's his room, not mine. This is exactly what I was afraid of.
泥棒人の部屋で何やってんだよ
New character appears. I like the little button he's got. Look at that button. I've never seen the man before. He looks about my age.
おかえり
And you're in my room, moving my things.
はあ誰だよお前なんで俺の部屋に
つかさ
He just ignores me as I stand there, trembling with rage, and taps the keyboard with his middle finger.
おい勝手に触んな
この中のデータさっぱりわかんねえんだけどどうなってんだよこれここに入ってるオールメイトの改造プログラムも複雑だしあんた一体何なの
知るかいいから出てけよ
He rises to his feet with a snort.
あんたさ俺のこと知らねえの
That is a really gay outfit. Jesus.
は
知ってると思うんだけど
全然知らねえし人違いだろ
He stares right at me, then slowly opens his mouth.
この度はお越しいただき至極光栄それでは楽しいゲームを始めよう
Where have I heard that before? I have a really bad feeling about this.
これでもわからない
He pulls something out of his pants pocket. It's a keychain with a tiny rabbit head on the end. It's him. I guess he's satisfied with my reaction because he tosses the keychain aside and looks at me again.
演出としては結構面白かっただろう宛先間違いの宅配便とか
お前あの時の辻切りかしかも宅配便ってうちに発注したのもお前か
ああいろいろ調べたらあんたがあの店で働いてるって分かったからあんたに来てもらおうと思ってね
That's not creepy.
別に金は払ってたしそっちの店としちゃ特に損もしなかっただろう
そういう問題じゃねえよ
Anger wells up inside me as I remember how upset Mr. Haga was.
つかあんたさ前もそうだったんだけど俺とライムやった時何したんだよ
何の話だ
とぼけんなどうやって俺に勝ったのかって聞いてんだよ
勝った
Did I win that fight? I can't remember.
だんまりかよなんか言え
I am saying something.
違う覚えてないんだ
は
あのライムの時最後は結局どうなったのか全然覚えてねえんだよ
He scowls a bit before returning to his deadpan expression.
そういう逃げ方するんだ。
You're the special one. He suddenly grabs me by the collar and slams me into the wall. This guy's stronger than he looks.
だったら実力行使だ。あんたにはこっちの方が効きそうだしな。
話せよ。
つかさ、本当に覚えてねえの？
覚えてねえよ。
He stares in my eyes like he's searching for something.
あんた、もう一度ライムで俺と戦えよ。
は？ライムとか知らねえし。
He shoves me into the wall even harder.
まだ言うのか。だったらあんたの大事なもんを壊す。あんたが何を大事にしてるのか知ってるぜ。ちゃんとな。
He shoots a meaningful glance at the computer. I know what he means by that, Ren. He's not bluffing. I can feel the threat hanging in the air. He'll destroy Ren's data if I don't give him what he wants. But the fact that I don't want to fight and rhyme, and the guy is starting to piss me off. Hmm.
いい加減にしろ。
I launch a knee, trying to knock him away. But I'm off balance and he blocks me with one hand. That might not be a good idea. He's just like a little kid throwing a tantrum.
お前な、少しは人の話聞け。俺は別に白切ってるわけじゃねえんだよ。
I meet his glare unflinching.
お前に勝ったとか本当に覚えてねえし、ライムのこともよくわかんねえんだよ。だから。
But he throws me down, cutting me off mid-sentence. Pain shoots up my back as he climbs on top of me.
おい、何やってんだよ。
うるせえよ。
With a blank expression, he grabs my arm and twists it.
腕の一本くらいなくたってライムはできる。
This guy.
腕折られたくないなら戦えよ。
My elbow groans as he twists my arm backwards. I don't want to fight him in rhyme, and I don't want to get Ren involved either. What should I do? I hear the sound coming from the stairs, but I don't have any time to consider what it might be.
オーバー。
The door suddenly swings open, and Kujaku bursts in.
紅雀、なんで。
水木のことで話しに行くってメールしただろう。んなことよりてめえは青葉から離れろ。
Kujaku growls and grabs the blonde guy. They tumble to the floor, grappling. My arm is free, but it doesn't really matter anymore.
お前らやめろ。
この
おい。
They tumble all over the place. I couldn't stop them if I tried. The man dodges one of Kojaku's attacks, then uses the break in Kojaku's guard to grab his shoulders and attempt to knee him in the stomach. Kojaku blocks the blow with his arm and responds with a headbutt. It slows him down, but he immediately fires another knee at Kojaku's stomach.
やろう。
Kojaku pulls back at just the right moment. The other guy's knee just grazes the hem of his kimono. Kojaku pulls back his fist. He's clearly at the end of his rope. Then there's a noise at the window. Everyone turns toward it.
Masuta.
No means no.
うるさいんだよお前たちいい加減にしろ
The door bursts open and Granny roars thunder through the room. All four of us stop in our tracks, cowering as we turn to the door.
お前たち
As she takes in the carnage, her eyes blaze with anger, and a thick vein throbs on her forehead.
全員下へ行きな今すぐにだ
A few minutes later, we're sitting quietly at the dining table. My head throbs where Granny hit me. My head okay. Of course, I'm not the only one with fresh lumps. She gave us all a taste of the knuckle pudding, saying we were equally at fault. Okay, there's one of them that isn't, to be fair. He just showed up. I was a bit scared that the blonde guy was gonna hit back, but he just stood there and pouted. Why? Because she's a frail old woman? Though frail might not be the best word to describe her. When Granny asked how this all happened, I confessed that I left the front door unlocked again. That earned me another lump. I'm never forgetting to lock the front door again.
まさか僕までお商売に預かってしまうとは。
You have issues. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure the guy in the gas mask said his name was Clear. He's just as fishy as the blonde guy.
青葉ちょっとこっちへ来な
Yes.
Hey, hey.
I stand rubbing the lump on my head and head into the kitchen. Granny is holding a basket full of freshly fried donuts. I thought I smelled something sweet.
持って行きな飲み物は全員茶でいいだろ
はいはい。あ、そうだばあちゃん。
なんだい
もう起きても大丈夫なのか？腰は？
いやわかるだろうくだらないことを聞いてないでさっさと行きな
I set the basket of donuts on the table, then pour cups of tea for everyone and return to my seat. Granny joins us shortly thereafter.
人間腹が膨れりゃ怒りも自然と収まるもんだとっとと食っちまいな
やっぱり作ってたのってこれか。匂いで分かったぜ。タエさんのドーナツは格別なんだよな。
いいから早く食いな
Kojaku goes straight for the basket. Let's look at. Oh, look, a little bird! Like a little bird's eating. Where's Ren? Is Ren getting a donut? The blonde guy and Clear, on the other hand, just stare at the donuts in confusion.
食うなら食う食わないなら食わないではっきりしな
Clear can't eat without taking off his mask, and the blonde guy doesn't seem interested. Or so I thought. Surprisingly, despite his grumpy expression, the intruder reaches for a donut.
甘い。
そりゃあそうだろそういう食べ物だよ
だとしても甘い。
無理して食わなくてもいいよ
Granny snorts, and the man continues nibbling on his donut. I can't get a read on him at all. I turn back to Clear. He's still sitting there motionless.
食べないのか？うまいぜ、ばあちゃんのドーナツ。
食べますよ。
早く食えば。
はい、食べます。
Clear keeps perfectly still. He'll have to take the mask off to eat, but will he? You're not gonna show. I watch Clear over the rim of my teacup, wondering what's gonna happen.
あれ？
The donut is missing from Clear's side of the basket. And it looks like his mask is moving up and down.
お前、 もしかして今食べた？
はい、食べました。美味しいです。
神業だろ。
He ate it with the gas mask on? How? Forget it. I grab a donut and start eating too. Granny's donuts are delicious, even when cold, but when they're fresh, they got this mellow, flaky sweetness that just fills your whole mouth. Kojaku has already finished and gotten up from his seat by the time I start eating my donut. Just before he goes into the hall, he turns back to beckon and beckons me. I point to myself. Me and Kojaku nods. What's up? I leave my half-eaten donut on the table and head out into the hall.
なんかよくわかんねえことになっちまったな。
I guess Kojaku wanted to get away from the bizarre atmosphere in there.
まあそうだな。
それはともかく水木のことだ。連絡取ったか？それか会いに行ったりとか。
ああ、電話した。大丈夫だとは言ってたけど、やっぱりちょっと元気がなかった感じがするな。
そうか。
水木に何かあったのか？
いやな、水木が変だってお前にメールしただろう。あの時うちのチームのやつらとドライジュースのやつらが少し揉めたんだ。その場に水木もいたんだけどよ、あいついつもならそういう時は絶対仲裁に入るだろう。なのになんか上の空でぼーっとしてる感じで、喧嘩も見てるだけで止めようとしねえんだ。結局俺が間に入ったんだけどな。どうも水木の様子がおかしいと思ってよ。大丈夫かって声かけたんだよ。そしたらほっといてくれって睨まれてよ。
水木に？
ああ、あいつらしくないっつうか、何か思い詰めたような顔をしてたんだよな。青葉、思い当たることねえのか？あいつが最近悩んでたこととか。
この前水木の店に行った時に神隠しの話が出たんだけど。
ああ、あのリブのチームが丸ごと消えるってやつか。
そのことを結構気にしてた感じだったな。
確かに最近神隠しにあったチームがいるって話は聞いたが。あ、
I feel something against my back, and then something falls to the floor.
こいつ、あいつの。
It's one of those cubes the rabbit guy had on his belt. It was tucked into the hood of my jacket this whole time. The cube hops into the living room.
あいつ。
Kojaku chases after the cube.
おいクソ坊主、今の盗み聞きしてやがったな。
別に聞かれたら困るような内容でもなかっただろ。
てめえ、
神隠しとかリブなんて今時流行らねえし、とりあえず盛り上がるイベント起こしとけって感じなんじゃねえの？
んだと。
Kojaku's voice shakes with anger.
おい、あんまり舐めたこと言ってんじゃねえぞ。実際に戻ってこねえ連中だっているんだよ。
知らねえよ。怖えならリブやめりゃいいだけの話なんじゃねえの？
この野郎。
Kojaku takes a step forward. The man shoots back an icy glare.
てめえ、名前は何だ？
先に名乗るのが礼儀だろ。
てめえみたいなのに礼儀もクソもあるか？
なら聞くなよ。
ちょっと待った。あんまり険悪になるなって。こっちは公爵。お前は？
ノイズ。
ノイズ！てめえみたいなのは虫が好かね
別にあんたに好かれようなんて思ってない。
やろう。
そこまでだ。
Granny breaks her silence at the end of their standoff with a single word.
喧嘩ならよそでやっとくれ。うるさいったらありゃしない。
すまねえ、タイさん。
Noise glances at Kojaku, then stands without saying a word.
おい、どこ行くんだよ。
帰る。
He marches out of the room.
お前らも食うもん食ったら帰りな。
Clear stands and bows to us.
ありがとうございました。それではマスター、さようなら。
あ、ちょい待った。
I follow Clear out into the hallway.
はい、なんでしょ
また会うかどうかはともかくとして、もし月があったらその時は普通に入ってこいよ。
う。普通とは？
空から降ってくるとかベランダから入ってくるとかじゃなくて、ごく普通に玄関から入れってことだよ。
空とベランダはなぜ行けないのですか？
どう考えてもおかしいだろうが。つかびっくりする。心臓に悪い。
心臓に悪い。なるほど。わかります。
Clear touches his chest.
ここにあるハートのことですよね。
まあそうだけど。
マスターといると勉強になります。ありがとうございます。
そうか。
So weird.
ではまた。
おう。
Clear bows again, then leaves through the front door.
なんなんだあのガスマスク。
俺もよくわかんね
知り合いなんじゃねえのか？
え。知り合いつうか違うと思う。やっぱよくわかんねえ。
おいおい、しっかりしてくれよ。
We're not crazy, we promise. After giving me a look, Kojaku awkwardly rubs the back of his neck.
さっきは悪かったな。つい熱くなっちまって。タイさんにもちゃんと伝えといてくれ。
さっき謝ったし大丈夫だろ。
あとお前の部屋で暴れちまったことも悪かった。
まあしょうがねえし、お前があそこまで怒るのは久しぶりに見たけど。
俺ダメなんだよ、ああいう折れることを知らなさそうなやつ。
Kojaku sighs, looking a bit deflated.
つか今思い出したが、あいつライムのチームやってるだろう。
ライムの？
ああ、確かラフラビットって名前だ。前にうちのが向こうのチームメンバーと喧嘩沙汰になって、その時にあいつを見た記憶がある。あいつも俺がリブやってるのを知ってたっぽいし、多分そうだろうな。考えれば考えるほど胸くそ悪いな。
ライムにもチームとかあるんだな。知らなかった。
チームができ始めたのは最近らしいけどな。つっても効率よく情報を集めるために組んでるようなもんらしいぜ。味気ねえよな。
A lot of ribsties think they're gangs as family, but I guess rhyme's different. Dry, efficient, that's the impression I get from Noise.
まああいつのことはともかく、水木は俺もサポートできるようにしておく。お前も何か分かったら連絡くれ。
なあ。
じゃあな。
Kojaku raises a hand in farewell, then walks out the front door. I head back to my room feeling drained, so much happened today. Oh right, I forgot to tell Kojaku that Noise was the one who forced me into the rhyme match. Probably shouldn't, that'll just give him another reason to pick a fight. Wondering how things got so messed up, I open the door and suddenly feel even more exhausted. Holy shit, is my room a mess.
くっそ。
Remembering Noise's cocky attitude is making me mad all over again. I decide to just pick up some things off the floor before flopping onto my bed. I'll get the rest tomorrow. Too tired today. I let out a sigh and closed my eyes. And we'll do the next day next time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Be awesome and subscribe, like, and all that jazz. Bye, guys.